Hey YouTube, Simon Dixon here. Listen to the feedback, got myself a lapel mic, finally figured out how to connect it to the iPhone. But today I'm going to be talking about Bitcoin City. So the President of El Salvador released his vision and a video on Bitcoin City. And today I want to talk about three things: tax, innovation, and financial engineering. For those of you that haven't watched my previous videos, I shared with you the importance of this project and why I want to give my full support to doing whatever I can within my power to usher the community to support this project. I've been immersing myself with all the key players in this so that we can bring opportunities for everybody to be involved as well. So let's talk about the different things. So the vision in El Salvador is to take a plot of land and build Bitcoin City. They want to make it into a special zone, as it were, and it's going to be a complete, tax-efficient structure, fully funded upon a wealth effect, which is investments that generate wealth, and value-added tax. Now, all the naysayers are going to say, you can't fund it based upon that. You have to have capital gains tax. You have to have income tax. You have to have property tax. And they may be right, but who cares? El Salvador is trying with Bitcoin City to see if you can power a city by Bitcoin and generate a wealth effect that does things completely different to the status quo. So value-added tax is the only thing. So if anyone wants to move to Bitcoin City, they don't pay property tax, they don't pay income tax, businesses don't pay payroll tax, and they don't pay capital gains on their Bitcoin. So it's the perfect environment to implement the HODL strategy in a fully efficient environment. The second vision is innovation. So the President of El Salvador has laid out his vision for how to power the whole thing on clean tech, powered by a volcano, using Bitcoin mining as the mechanism for generating wealth within Bitcoin City. Now, this is breaking several barriers in terms of innovation, dealing with the naysayers that would always say, oh, well, Bitcoin is one of the most environmentally disastrous innovations the world has ever seen. We're, consuming more electricity than most miners. But the Blockstream team have been working on technology that allows for the liquid network and the innovation that we'll talk about in the third section. Blockstream were the team that put together the Bitcoin satellite so that if the internet goes down, Bitcoin still works, and various other things. So if anyone can do it, a president of a country, $1 billion of funding from the community in tier 1 through a Bitcoin powered bond, and some of the greatest technical minds in Bitcoin and the entire Bitcoin community wanting to get behind this project, which consists of some of the most innovative technology people in the world. So we'll see. I'm not a technical guy, I'm a finance guy. Technology and innovation is what I invest in, what I fund, and I fund great minds and great people that build such technology. So can't wait to see the amount of innovation that can come from that. And finally, the financial engineering as well. So this is where I get really geeky, really want to share my experiences as the creator of the first Bitcoin bond way back in 2014, that we created a Bitcoin bond. And if you didn't watch my emergency broadcast, went through the timeline of different innovations that totally makes a Bitcoin volcano-backed bond a reality today, and all the technologies behind that over the last decade I've been investing in, and we've been funding at Bank to the Future, that leads to this perfect storm, this perfect moment of creating Bitcoin City, a tax haven where innovation is the core of the city, and also financial engineering being funded. And tonight I'm going to be inviting both Max Kaiser, who the President of El Salvador credits for inspiring this innovation in terms of the funding mechanism of a volcano Bitcoin bond, and also Samson Mao from Blockstream, who was on the stage with the President of El Salvador when they were releasing their vision for Bitcoin City. So if you are interested in learning more about this and how you can participate, then do join us tonight on this YouTube channel. Share this. We want to get as many people as possible understanding the impact of this, because here's the thing. If Bitcoin City can do this in El Salvador, if a bond can be created that outperforms the traditional financial markets by a Bitcoin dividend kicker and pays above inflation and takes a country that's riddled with $17 billion of debt and completely comes up with a new model, then many other countries will be following. Many other countries will be looking at this. And El Salvador is really saying, look, the America is abusing their power with the dollar. We're choosing Bitcoin. And the fact that these financial innovation is being backed by money you can own, money you can spend, and money who has a fixed supply, digital, hard, sound money. The naysayers will tell you all the reasons why this doesn't work, that you can't fund a city without excessive taxes. The Keynesians will tell you that you need to borrow excessively in economic downturns rather than trying to generate a wealth effect, and then during the good times you pay it off with the wealth effect. But we're really exploring here an experiment in Austrian economics, the markets, the wealth effect, and doing the exact opposite of every single government in the world today, and building that based upon wealth rather than tax, and using deflationary currencies rather than inflationary currencies, and using innovation to really solve some of the biggest problems in the world, whether that be climate, carbon neutrality innovation. And as I always said, the argument against Bitcoin being environmentally friendly, I always said, by having Bitcoin reward people that do the biggest amount of innovation, then you create technological innovation that solves some of the biggest problems in the world. And this is a shining example of that. Obviously a bunch of risk. I discussed this in more of the economics behind this. But by having a bond that is powered by Bitcoin, you get to show the true power of digital, hard, sound money as a mechanism for generating wealth effects, not just for individuals, not just for corporations, not just for institutions, but also for countries and later central banks as they add it to their balance sheet. And then the central banks that add it to their balance sheet first get rewarded in the upcoming monetary renegotiation and currency wars that I always talked about on my video series on the Great Depression of the 2020s, and over a decade ago on the first published book to include Bitcoin, Bank to the Future, Protect Your Future Before Governments Go Bust. So this is El Salvador implementing Bank to the Future, protecting their future before governments go bust. And I really look forward to seeing you on YouTube tonight, where I'll get Max Kaiser and Samson Mao to share their thoughts behind and give some inside scoops on what's happening with the El Salvador Bitcoin Volcano Bond. So I'm pumped up, I've done my workout, and hopefully this isn't silent right now and this is recording through a nice crispy Sennheiser microphone. And if that's all working, then hopefully I can get the naysayers in the comments that were complaining about the echoes. I understand that. I just want to create content, and sometimes I just don't have time to plug all the technology together, and I'd rather release it than get everything perfect. But one step at a time, I get someone to come along and support in making this better. So hopefully this is one step forward. We now have a tripod, we now have a lapel microphone, and we now have the Bitcoin Volcano backed bond. So if you want to see Bitcoin progress and you want to understand what's going on in this industry, you are alive at one of the most interesting and exciting times in financial history. Subscribe to this channel and I'll make sure you are on the right side of this change. Some are going to get hurt, some are going to do really well, and I'd like you to be on the right side of that change. Peace, love, unity, peace.